This week, the federal government launched the National Agricultural Sample Census, which was conducted by the National Bureau of Statistics in collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. The census, which aims to give an understanding of the structure of the agricultural sector in Nigeria, reveals that there are about 40.2 million households that practice agriculture or farming in Nigeria. 91% of the households cultivated crops, out of which 35% practiced crop production, while 48% raised livestock. The figures from the census are expected to become a roadmap upon which agricultural policies will be formulated for food security, agricultural and economic development. We have in the studio the Director, Agriculture and Business Enterprises, Statistics of the National Bureau of Statistics, Mr. Biyi Fafunmi, to help us make meaning of this important census and what it means for the agriculture and economy. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you for having me.
Now, let's start with you telling us what the National Agricultural Sample Census is all about and what it is meant to achieve.
Okay, thank you very much. National Agricultural Sample Census is basically to collect comprehensive information about agricultural household holders in Nigeria and their activities. Activities around crop production, livestock, fishery, and other activities around agriculture. So the sub-census is for us to have a frame through which we can conduct any other sample census on agriculture in Nigeria. For example, if we want to conduct surveys only on crop production. So we have the comprehensive frame of people that are cultivating crop, and we can select from that and draw our sample, and through that, then we can do our data collection and estimate for the country.
All right. So can you highlight some of the key findings of the census and how they will impact agricultural policies in Nigeria?
Okay, so from the report, we have found out that 91% of the agricultural household in the country are into crop activity. And you can see that generally we are talking about food security. And through this census, we see that if we make use of this result from this census, we'll be able to draw a policy around crop production that will help the country to have food sufficiency. And also, through the census, we can also encourage the youth, because we know that we have a very big population of the youth that can go into agricultural activity, and through that, then we can have enough agricultural produce that we can even export to other parts of the world. And this will help us to have foreign earning for the country, and it will improve on our economy.
Okay. When was the last time the census was conducted here in Nigeria, and how often should a country conduct it?
The census was last conducted in 1993-1994. According to United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, FAO, a country, developing country for that matter, supposed to have the census conducted between 5 and 10 years. Okay. But the last time that Nigeria conducted agricultural sample census was in 1993-1994, almost 30 years ago. And not that the country doesn't want to have that, but due to some challenges, so we are unable to conduct another one since 2007, when we attempted to conduct agricultural sample census, but due to some challenges, we are unable to conduct that until 2012. 22 when we conducted this round of agricultural sample census, which was launched this week on Monday.
Okay, with 40.2 million households engaged in agriculture, how can the government support small-scale farmers to increase productivity?
Yeah, so this is an eye-opener to us as a nation and also to government. And like I mentioned in my introduction, that this will give a pointer to government that we can engage the youth and also the peasant farmers in the agriculture, because they are the small and medium farm producer household, and with little encouragement from government, so they will be able to do some agricultural farming activity like crop production, fishery. You know, now we are encouraging people to have a farm around their even houses, have garden, have fish pond around their building, and also you can also have a small livestock around your houses, and that will improve on our economy, because money expected to be spent on this by household will be spent on another activity that will improve on the life and being of such a household and an individual.
Okay, the census also revealed that 91% of households cultivated crops, while 48% raised livestock. Now, what opportunities and challenges do these figures present for Nigeria's agri sector?
Yeah, the opportunity, like I mentioned earlier on, is that you know, we have a very good land and a wide land area in the country that we can use for agriculture. And from the indices that we have, that about 95% of that 91% cultivate cereal crop, while other cultivate tubers, and so different parts of the country are endowed with different agricultural activities. So, and if we use this opportunity and we encourage the citizen around this part of the country, so we'll be able to produce enough agricultural produce for the country that will be able to feed the society, put people on employment, and also export the output of the proceed from the agricultural activity within this system into other parts of the country, and we can gain foreign exchange from this activity, and through that, then we'll be able to have our economy improve, not only because the government is talking about diversification, and some of the diversification is looking at agriculture and other aspects of the economy, and we know the contribution of agriculture into our GDP, and if we improve on it, which means agriculture will also contribute more into our GDP, and the economy of the country will improve.
Let's talk about the nitty-gritties. How did NBS conduct the census? What areas were covered, and how were the figures arrived at?
Okay, so by our methodology, we cover the 774 local governments in the country. Okay. And in each of these local governments, we also visited 40 enumeration areas. So we have about 30,000 plus enumeration area visited across the country. And in doing this, we visited each household in the selected enumeration area, and people are interviewed, households are interviewed, and we use recently digitized enumeration area map by the National Population Commission, which make the process more scientific are more reliable. And we did not also use paper-based data collection process. So the digital map was fed into a digital device, and our questionnaire was also digitized, and it was that digitized device that the enumerator takes to the field to collect data from each household visited. And we were able to monitor those enumerators because everything is digitized, and we use the technology of GIS to monitor the enumerator in their data collection process. So, and after the data is collected by the enumerator, it is now synchronized and sent to the headquarters through our server. And we have set of people looking at the data that is coming from the feed, and they look at the data, clean the data. What I mean by cleaning the data is that looking if there is anything missing from the information that enumerator is supposed to provide or supply from the feed. And if anyone is missing, they quickly call the enumerator that, oh, the address of the household you are visiting is not captured. Right. Will you do that? And they will do that. Then before we do the data collection, we also do what we call listing. Okay. And during the listing, we have the GPS position of the household to be visited during the data collection. And when enumerator that is collecting the data now capture the GPS, that is the global position using global position system, that is the longitude and latitude of that household. Right. We compare it with the one that was there before, and if there is any issue, we call the attention. So these are some of the data quality assurance that we put in place. We have several layers of data quality assurance put in place to make sure that the data is of high quality, and after that we analyze the data. Briefly before I let you go, what are the plans on ground for more data on the Agric sector and other sectors as well? Okay, so now that we have the frame, which we call the list of farmers in the country, so we are also working on the National Agricultural Samples Survey. So that it will now tell us about production of farmers. So we have details of where the farms are, what is the size of the farm, what are they producing in terms of quantity and the quantity, how much are they realizing from the proceeds from the farm, and also the implement that they are using in the farm. All these are also going to be available in the next few months, and we can also go into each of the sector of agriculture and conduct is specialized or specific data collection system on that agri. That is a separate survey on crop, a separate survey on livestock, a separate survey on the fishery, and we also have what we call the exportable crop survey that we conduct. And wheat, we do surveys specifically on wheat. We also have one on rice, and we can also have on any other aspect of agricultural activity that is specific. And through this, we have a comprehensive and very elaborate data on each of these agricultural activities. I must say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Biyi Fafunmi, for sharing your thoughts with us on the program. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. All right.